You clicked on this video because you want better mechanics. Not just better mechanics so you can hit clips and impress your friends, but mechanics that will actually help you win games and rank up in Rocket League. So in this video, I'm going to give you everything that you need to know about mechanics. I'm not going to drag this video out so I can just earn a bunch of money from ads. I'm not going to give you every single piece of information that exists out there so I can make this video 17 hours long, but rather, I'm going to give you 9 tips that I used myself personally that helped me rank up fast. So without wasting any more of your time, let's get into the first tip, which is going to be to please warm up before you play. This is the simplest tip in this video, and I'm going to get it right out of the way first because it's so important but also so simple. If you want to improve your mechanics, which you obviously do because you clicked on this video, please just start warming up before you queue. And the best part about warming up is that it doesn't actually have to be complicated. It's just common sense. You would never walk into a gym, load up 100 kilograms on the bar, and just start bench pressing it cold. And Rocket League is no different. Even 10 to 15 minutes of warming up will make you play so much better in your sessions. Moving on to tip number 2, it is to use Freeplay and do it properly. I believe that Freeplay is the best mechanical training tool in Rocket League, and it's not even close. You get more touches per minute than any other game mode. You get full control over your setups, so you do actually have to do everything yourself. And they're realistic in-game situations, because again, you're creating them. It's not like a training pack where you'll have a perfect setup for you and then you just have to score. Every single pro player uses Freeplay. Every high-level mechanical player uses Freeplay. Every freestyler who has crazy mechanics uses Freeplay. But here's the mistake that most people make. They go into Freeplay because they hear tips like this video and they think, okay, well, I'll go do Freeplay. And they just kind of hit the ball around and do some random stuff for like 20 minutes. And then they wonder why nothing ever changes. So when you go into Freeplay, you need to have one clear focus. Not just, oh, I'm going to train my mechanics today. No, it has to be specific. Today, I'm going to go and practice my 45-degree flicks. Today, I'm going to go and practice my flip resets. It doesn't have to be difficult. Again, it's simple, but specific. Tip number 3, and this is an underrated one. Challenge yourself even when it feels uncomfortable. So if you're always training and it feels easy, you're not improving. I promise you. Rocket League mechanics work just like muscle growth in the gym. And I like this analogy a lot because it's very simple and it's very straightforward. Muscles only grow when you put them under direct stress, right? That then tells the muscles, oh well, we're too weak for this. Okay, we have to grow. We have to get better so we can do this thing in the future, right? You have to challenge them. You have to force them to adapt. Because if you always do a very simple workout, guess what? They're going to always just think, oh yeah, this is easy. Oh yeah, this is easy. This is nice. And you have to think about the same way in Rocket League. If you're only training the things you're already comfortable with, you're not pushing your limits. You're not going to get better. Because your mechanical skill is always going to be thinking, oh yeah, this is easy, bro. Light work, bro. No. You need to try harder stuff. Try things that you're going to mess up. Try things that feel awkward. Because you're supposed to fail. That is the only way improvement actually happens. I promise you. I tried to get good at flip resets, and at first, I was horrible. I was horrible. And I could not, for the life of me, get a good flip reset and actually score from it when I was in like GC1. I was so bad at them. But guess what? I did it, and then I did it again, and then I did it again. And I did that like every day, for however long it takes. And then I got good, and guess what? It was only because I did it when it was difficult. If I never did it when it was difficult and I always just stayed with my flicks and my ground plays, I would have never actually gotten good at them. Now, tip number 4 is a very controversial one, but if it's coming from me, you know it must be facts, which is that you need to play more 1v1. And I'll be honest, if you guys know me, and this isn't your first time watching me, you would know that I don't enjoy 1v1s pretty much at all. And I don't play them all the time. But in my journey through the ranks, ones has helped my mechanics massively. And the reason for this is very, very simple. In 1v1s, nobody bails you out. Every mistake gets punished, and every good play actually matters. In 1v1s, it's always a matter of you either score or you concede. And that kind of pressure forces you to actually use your mechanics to the highest level. It requires you to make the right decision, of course, as well, but also just to go for the right mechanic, to use the mechanic well under stress, and to execute on the mechanic the way that you've trained all of your time. And as a nice side bonus, it's also incredibly good for mental training, because if you can stay calm in 1v1s, you're already ahead of most players, including me sometimes. The fifth tip I have for you is that quality beats mindless quantity. I'm a big believer in this idea that the more you put in, the more you get out. So hours matter, volume matters, but quality matters too. Because there are players out there grinding 10 to 12 hours a day, every day, and are still stuck in low ranks. The guy who on Rocket League Tracker has the account with the most amount of games won of any Rocket League account that's ever been created is Plat 2. Yes, his tracker's out there. You can check it yourself if you don't believe me. He's like Plat 2, and his peak I think is like Diamond 2, which, for the record, is about the average rank in Rocket League. And that guy has played over like 3,000 games of ranked every single season for the last like 10 seasons. Because he's playing mindlessly. If you want real mechanical improvement, you need to have a focus, an intention, and a goal for each session. And remind yourself what those things are when you're going to start working on them, because otherwise you will forget, and you will eventually realize that you wasted hundreds of hours with little to no progress at all to show for it. So every time you go into a session, remind yourself what you're focusing on that day. If you go into free play and you think to yourself, today I'm going to practice my flicks. Boom, it's as simple as that. It took like 2 seconds to just say that sentence in your head to yourself. And it's as simple as that. The sixth tip I have for you is a bit of an unorthodox one, but it's to play aggressively and confidently. Because the players who improve mechanics the fastest are almost always aggressive players, confident players, and players who are willing to make mistakes. And the reason for this is so simple. The more aggressive you play, the more times you do stuff. And the more times you do stuff, the more mistakes you make, the more you learn from those mistakes, and the faster you ultimately improve. So a passive player might mess up less, they might make less mistakes, but because of that they'll also learn way slower. Being aggressive will cost you games in the short term sometimes, but in the long term it will accelerate improvement like you've never ever seen before. So please, if you want to maximize your improvement over your rank, play aggressively and confidently in your own rank games. Now, tip number 7. Be elite at one thing. You don't need to be amazing at everything. Now, don't get me wrong. You want to be good at every single skill. You don't want to have a big weakness to your game. But you should have that one strength, that one thing, that one difference maker. The one thing that you can rely on, that stands out. Something that you can consistently create chances or just score with. For me, when I was ranking up through the ranks, it was always ground dribbles and flicks. And I got so good at these mechanics that I could just 1v2 defenders sometimes. I could break both ankles, win some mind games with like kind of fake them out, or I could just flick it in their net. And that skill won me countless games. And now I'm not trying to boast about that, but what I am trying to tell you is that I was dog shit in the air, bro. I was horrible in the air. I could not flip reset until I was GC1. And I still got there because I got carried by this elite strength that I had. For example, my aerial plays might have been somewhere in the champ level, but my flicks were in the GC1, GC2 level, all the way down in like champ 2. So I just used the mechanic that I was really good at and it basically just carried me through the ranks. And the best part about it is that your standout mechanic can be anything. It can be ground plays like it was for me. It can be aerials, it can be double taps, it can be resets, whatever it might be. And the way to figure out what your elite kind of standout mechanic should be is that just pick something you enjoy. Pick something that you feel drawn to, something that speaks to you, something that you're either already really good at and you just want to get better at it even more, or if you don't have that standout thing yet and you think you're kind of decent at everything but you don't have like a very, very big strength, then just pick something that you'd want to be really good at, right? Like when I was in like plat, I wasn't instantly really good at dribbling. I wasn't really good at 45-degree flicks. Of course not. But I saw these videos and I saw these clips of these people doing all these things. And I thought, wow, a 45-degree flick just like absolutely rocketed into the top corner. That looks cool. And what I want you to do is to try to find that thing for you that gives you that, oh, that looks cool moment. And find that, choose it, and have that be what you train as your standout mechanic. Now, tip number 8 is a huge one, and it's to keep improvement in the game fun and fresh. So, I don't want you to turn Rocket League into an Excel spreadsheet. I don't want you to make it rigid and like kind of routine and boring. What a lot of people do is they make these kinds of routine-y things where they're like, okay, I'm gonna play 15 minutes of warm-up, and then I'm gonna play 60 minutes of ranked, and then I'm gonna play 45 minutes of this training, and then I'm gonna do 30 minutes of this training, and then I'm gonna get off. And I'm here to tell you that you don't need that. Because most of the time, when people do that stuff, they just get bored of the game, and then they burn out and they stop playing the game because they don't enjoy it anymore. So what I'm here to tell you is that you almost always, or well, actually just always, remove that almost, you always improve faster when you're having fun. So keep the game fresh, mix things up, experiment sometimes. Play what you enjoy. And this goes back to the previous tip that I had at number 4, I believe, which was to play more 1v1, right? If in one day you feel like playing 20 games of 1v1 and 0 games of 2v2, do that. If you don't feel like playing any 1v1 because you hate the game mode, for example, or something, then don't play it. Like I said, of course, that you should play once, and I do believe that, but I don't even do it every time. I'll play once when I feel like doing it and when I kind of want to do it, but I won't force myself to play it because then I'll know that I won't like the experience, right? Structure is good, but the enjoyment of the game is more important. And now this 9th and final tip is for the bit of hardcore players. It's for the players who really, really want to maximize improvement and are willing to do whatever it takes. So if you want to reach the highest levels of the game, right? Whether you want to reach GC, you want to reach SSL, you want to play tournaments, you want to play RLCS, whatever it might be, you need to be breathing and living the game. Let me tell you what I did. Between August 23rd and October 21st of last year, which is almost exactly 2 months, so 60 days, I went from low GC1, around low 1400 MMR, all the way to 1712 MMR and hit GC3. In almost exactly 2 months. And during that time, I put in a lot. Not just, playing ranked and free play and all that stuff, which of course I did that as well. Of course. But outside the game too. I was watching RLCS, I was watching these top 100 2v2 gameplay, from like Zen, Drolly, Appjack, all these pros. And I was studying all the improvement content that I could find. And the reason for this is because I had a goal and I was all in. So you might be confused why I'm telling you this. And I'm not telling you this just to, flex. Because, I don't really care about that. But I'm telling you this because the rule is very simple. The more you put in, the more you get out. So if you really want to reach the next level, if you want to reach SSL, or if you want to go pro, or whatever it might be that you want to do in this game, this matters. If you want to get better, you need to do whatever it takes to get better. If, of course, you're willing to do so. And the thing with this is that a lot of people are going to think it's cringe. A lot of people are going to say, oh, you're doing all this for a video game. Like, sure, people can think that. You can think that. And that's completely fine. Because if you don't prioritize the game enough to want to do this, that's completely fine and acceptable. So this is just a tip for the players who really, really want to reach the next level. But if you enjoyed this video and you like how I explain things and you want personalized one-on-one help to help you improve and rank up, I'm a coach on Metafy, where I analyze your replays, show you exactly what you're doing wrong, and then give you clear, simple fixes that you can instantly apply to get better. So again, if you like how I explain things and you want to improve further, check out my Metafy link in the description. It will be the first one. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Good luck in your games, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.